Welcome to the General booth, guys. General has just introduced the latest kind of innovation, the trend in the marketplace for table saws with the granite tabletops. This is a 10-inch cabinet saw, 1.75 horsepower on the motor. When you look at granite's not here to replace cast iron. It's an alternative for the woodworking customer that, say, lives in a high moisture content area. The granite will never rust. For the woodworker that wants total flatness, the granite can be machined many more times flatter than cast iron. The added weight dampens the vibration, which gives it a smoother running machine. What we've done on the miter gauge itself, still T-slotted. We have a 30-inch fence, glides like it's on roller bearings. We have a on-off paddle switch, nice chrome hand wheels, large chrome hand wheels, metal motor cover, serpentine belt drive for full transmission, back with a limited lifetime warranty from General.
Planer molder, very similar to what you've seen on the market. It's not that it's a new design of machine, but we did a lot of modifications to it. Normally when you see the planer molder that will do elliptical jigs or do curve moldings, they'll have one motor in the bottom. What we did is we put a 3 horsepower motor in it, we put a separate drive for our feed motor, so it'll feed everything, not driving off the main motor, so that we can get a little bit more control. Doing that, we put a variable speed on it. So now we have a variable speed drive, so if we are taking a heavier pass, because when you are doing an ellipse or any type of curve molding, you can only do it in one pass, because if you try and duplicate it, it might sit in different positions every time. So what you want to do is do it in one pass. By slowing it down, we can get that pass done without burning, especially with high-speed steel cutters. Of course, you can put carbide on these, but if you slow it down with the high-speed steel as they start to dull, you're going to get a much better finish out of it. So hence the 2 motors on it, which is really nice. Also, instead of columns that come down, that do give you a little bit of fluctuation, we've got dovetailed ways. So nice positive, there's not going to be any movement or rocking in that head, where the head can raise, which would change your profile. You've got a jib in the back that you can adjust it to sandwich it to keep it tight. So as it's in use for years, you're going to get some wear. You can make that up with the adjustable jib inside, which is nice. We also have on the head the jackknife cutter, or the jackknives, to actually position the blade. So say you take your blades in, you get them sharpened a little bit crooked, you can put them in, adjust them so you have the exact same knife or height on your cutter knives, both of them, which is very nice. The ellipse jig or the centrifugal jig comes automatic with it. It's all part of the package. Only thing you need from here on in, cutters and a dust collector. What complaints we've always had about our machines is you guys don't have enough stroke on them, but we don't have any movement. We dual stack bearings in the bottom, and when you bring our drill presses down, there's absolutely no movement in here. When we went to go to a larger stroke, we found that even double stacking that bearing with that long stroke, there's too much flex in it. And we were never able to modify one of these to do a proper job. It would just move way too much in the bottom, and as something gets longer, there's that much more out around, and that was always an issue. We came out with this model drill press last year. It's a variable speed inversion, which you guys would have seen last year. It has that stroke. It's strong enough to have that stroke.
What is the stroke?
6 inches. Going from this, the only thing we could do is take the variable speed off it and make a meat and potatoes our drill press. This thing is every bit as strong as this, but it is belt driven. You don't have that control or the range of speeds, but meat and potatoes, 6-inch stroke, feel it. Just really try and wiggle that bottom. You just can't.
Have at it.
Yeah, have at her.
What did you do differently inside? Instead of before you just had stacked bearings, what's going on up here?
Instead of having a portion like these drill presses where you've actually got everything is enclosed here for spacing, and everything is done up here. It's hollow inside. Yes. That's why they have light bulbs and stuff like that. Yeah. This, solid sleeve all the way through. And you can see where this is where this casting ridge comes into play, and that's what gives it this beef. So you actually got this much stroke in there, whereas those are only yay high. No, it's not just supported, it's supported throughout. And that's what gives it its rigidity, and that's what allows us to have a 6-inch stroke with no movement.
This product has actually been available for 20 years now. This is the 4th remodel of it. Wow. This one actually took place because of all the left tilt machines. With the motor covers out on this side, our previous design had a substantially greater area here, to work, and the motor covers were all buttoned up against it. This bracket here now is a 2-part bracket. It is a full length, mounts to all mounting holes of any table saw.
Any 27-inch.
27 or 28 inch, or even up to some of the 32-inch machines.
Okay.
The hole pattern in here will fit every machine. Okay. Much more substantial because it's wider. It carries the load greater. Much thicker bracketry. The other predecessors were thinner. This is now a detachable bracket as well, without readjustments. The main mounting bracket stays secured to the saw. These socket heads, cap screws, allow you to detach it and replace it for people who have limited space.
Sure.
The other benefit to this bracket is, and this is where I'm going to show you here, right in here, is when we draw this table forward, most fellas looked at this and who aren't familiar with sliders, they go, well, that's not 4 feet. What we have is a design where you can mount the fence on the back of the table. It allows the operator to load the panel up to the fence, okay, and then proceed through to the cut.
Push.
Like all the large systems. That's what this slot is designed for now. Okay, so the main mounting bracket, again, still goes on the machine, as simple as it always has. This slot allows you to reposition the slider fore and aft to accommodate up to 49 inches in front of the blade and up to 72 inches behind. So you can actually do 6 foot on it. To prevent this table from flipping up when you're loading,
You got a heavy stuff.
we used to have a C channel. Picture this welded to that with UHMW runners that would ride over top of the rail. And again, this plate then couldn't butt up against here because we didn't have the space. So what we've done is we basically took that, put it over here, and set up bearings on the inside of the rail. So we've got away from the UHMW runners, which was huge because chips of particle board would embed in it, and believe it or not, it wouldn't wear the UHMW out, it would literally wear out the steel. It would groove in the steel. It was amazing. But as you see now, we've got scrapers on all the bearings, the ones that take the bottom load. Okay, so there's scrapers on those, so that's going to keep that clear. That's all been designed into it. We've just added this rail system here, which we've just got a pin locator. So once that's set up, and these are all built on a slide system that allows you to position everything. All these scales are in aluminum keyways and they run into a groove, so you position it and secure the bolt that locks all your scales in.
So are there detents on the angles?
Yes, you've got all your common angles. Yep, all the way through. Okay. As far as even getting it parallel, you do not move this leg and bracket anymore. This has a slot, and the bolts allow you to slide the rail on this bracket, so it doesn't matter where the floor is. Once you level it, you don't have to retweak it.